Alright, so since the car is finally working, we're going to go ahead and put the hood back on. Because obviously we don't have a hood anymore, and we kind of need that if we're going to ever go driving it, because, like, it's kind of ridiculous to drive with no hood, so we got that in here. We're going to go ahead and throw that back on. And then we're going to go ahead and adjust the coilovers, and I'm expecting a package today with our new wheel spacers in it, so we can get ready for that. So I just put the hood back on, and I haven't seen it on there in about maybe 7, 8 months, and it's kind of strange. So up front, there are a lot of just like wires that are just kind of like hanging out because like the horn is kind of gone and they're just hanging out, and the things are here and I don't know if it works, and there's just like all these wires hanging around the car, and it's kind of annoys me, so I'm gonna just kind of tuck them away behind everything for now. And I think I'm also just gonna go ahead and remove these horn things because there's no horn actually in the car, like no button to press, and if I ever do get a horn, it's probably gonna be like some train horn, so it's really loud. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and tuck all these wires away. Even though we're probably going to be running a bumper, where I still don't like the look of all the wires hanging around everywhere. Alright, so we got a little problem with the hatch, believe it or not. The actual hatch, not the whole car, if I can touch it. So you can close it and stuff, and it doesn't line up because the hinges are broken. So it's all nice and closed. But the problem is it's not actually closed, like, it looks closed, but you can just like open it back up. So the problem is there's like a latching mechanism on the inside, and it's kind of not working. And today we're going to try and fix that because I would really love for my car to actually be able to lock so people don't like go in and steal it and stuff and steal stuff that's in it, even though there's nothing in it that's worth anything, but it would be nice to have it working. So I think the problem is this thing here. It's not going far enough into the latch, so it's not actually able to latch onto it. So I'm just going to stick some like washers in between the actual hatch, which is just like rusty, and then this little latch here, and hopefully that will make it go a little bit deeper into the thing it catches in, and then it will lock and everyone will be happy. So it seems like someone else had the same idea as me because there were these washers jammed in there already. And I think the reason why it didn't work is because these bolts are really short, so they weren't actually long enough to push the thing down. They weren't long enough to hold enough washers in between this and the hatch. And I mean, I just made sure that this locking mechanism works. Like, if you, like, this is in here now, and it's never locked before, so it's just like, I know it works. So now we're just gonna have to try and find some bolts that are longer, so we're gonna be able to make our hatch lock in here. So I found 2 bolts that seem to be like the perfect size for spacing out our latch on the hatch. That rhymes. And I'm just going to use 2 nuts to act as washers. I think that'll be enough distance. And it's kind of funny, these bolts, you see that strange pattern? It's actually the keyed bolt, so you have to use this special screwdriver for that went on like my wheel center cover things. But I don't really care because they're just like plastic and I don't use them. So who cares? And it's not like anyone wants to steal these wheels because they're pretty much junk. So we're going to get started screwing this thing back on with these nut spacer washers. So now the hatch actually works, as in you need the key to open it or you need to go on the inside. Like without the key, it won't open, but use the key. A lot of force, it will open now. So I worked. So the washers I put in, or nuts I put in to space it out actually worked. But those hinges back there are still completely messed up. And don't sit the hatch down straight, so you have to push it to the side to make it close, but it's okay. So the ride height in the rear with the coilovers, how I have it adjusted, is way too low. Like, it looks ridiculous, like the tire's tucking like an inch under the fender well, and I really don't like that look. So I'm going to go ahead and raise the coilover up a little bit, and that's the beauty of coilovers, you can of course adjust the height. So I'm going to go ahead and raise it up a little bit. I don't exactly know how much, but I think we'll be able to figure it out pretty quickly about how much we're going to have to adjust the coilover for the ride height to change what amount. So our new wheel spacers showed up today. They're very nice. I think these are 20 millimeters or 25 millimeters. After I measured out, this is pretty much the size that I wanted to fit in the fender well for the amount of tire gap that I wanted in between the fender and the actual wheel. With these certain wheels I have. I don't really like these wheels, but I got them on Craigslist and they were pretty cheap with the tires. And at some point I'll probably get new wheels, but for now, this is what I'm working with. So what we got here is possibly one of the worst designs I've ever seen on anything in my entire life. So I got this new wheel spacer, and I think it's about 3/4 of an inch. And I mean, I didn't really think about it, but the lug nuts on the car, not lug nuts, the actual lugs, they stick out past the wheel spacer. So pretty much, the wheel is supposed to sit flush with the spacer. I imagine. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't. That's how it usually is. But for some reason, well, I know why. The lug sticks out farther than the wheel spacer, so the wheel can't sit flush with the wheel spacer. So this wheel can't even mount straight on here. This is like completely the worst design I've ever seen on anything in my entire life. Not my entire life, but this is a terrible design. I don't know why they would sell this as a product that fits on this car. So that's pretty much going to do it for this video. I'm going to go online, harass these people, and try and get my money back for this. And unfortunately, we're not going to be able to see the car with the new wheel spacers on, but from what I see, I think they're pretty much the right size. So that's pretty much going to do it for today's video. So going back to the wheel spacers for a quick second, the only way I really see that those would be able to fit is if I went ahead and took like my cutoff wheel and cut the lugs shorter. But I'm not going to do that because that's completely ridiculous, and you shouldn't have to do that for something you buy and that is sold to be able to fit on a car. So if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you have not already, leave a comment, let me know your thoughts, questions, concerns, criticisms, and I will see you guys in the next one.